question I want to ask boxing fans today, and I'll keep asking this question. Have you learnt your lesson? Have you studied the game and the sport enough to understand what's going on here? At the moment, Anthony Joshua has got what I would say a good set of highlight reels. What does it mean? Well, you play and within a few minutes you can see him knocking out all of his opponents. Now, Sky Matchroom are doing an excellent job with Joshua's career. They've already got a documentary about how he got to where he is in 10 fights. You know, and for me, I think all of this is a bit premature. Of course, they want to make Joshua the big cash cow. He's a heavyweight, blah, blah, blah. He punches very hard. Former or Olympic gold medalist in 2012. Sure, that's fantastic. That's great. I understand that part of it. The marketing side of Anthony Joshua has been fantastic. But what about the marketing of him inside the ring? Okay, he's been in with some guys that we know, and he's knocked them over, and that's been good. And you don't say anything more, but yeah, he's done a good job. He's not the guys that been put in front of him. Now, this is not a criticism of Anthony Joshua per se, but rather his matchmaker and management. And there's a few questions that need to be asked here. And of course, the casual boxing fan won't have a clue what I'm talking about here, and will just call me a hater. For boxing critics, and for those who have studied the sport of boxing, especially heavyweight boxing, we know that there are certain things a fighter needs to be able to overcome and do before he goes on to become heavyweight champion of the world. I still think the blueprints of how to become a heavyweight champion of the world, especially from the UK, you do the Lennox Lewis route. You fight for the British, the Commonwealth, the European, and then you go on to world honours. In Lewis's career, before he became world champion, he went for a series of fighters. He fought Gary Mason in his 15th fight. I keep saying Mason was 15 and 0. No, Mason was 33 and 0, I believe. And Lewis was 14 and 0, 15 and 0. Mason was ranked number 4 in the world and was a big puncher. Okay, so he's ranked number 4 in the world. He could have fought. He was next in line to fight for the heavyweight champion of the world. He skipped that to fight Lennox Lewis because it was a grudge match. Okay, so Lewis fought on his way up. He fought guys like Mike Weaver, Tyrell Biggs, Levi Billups, Derek Williams, Glenn McCrory. He fought guys, experienced guys that he didn't just hit with a punch and fall over. He fought guys who put up some resistance, threw some punches back, and asked different questions of Lewis. Now, are we going to see the same thing with Anthony Joshua's career? Are we going to see Anthony Joshua in fights in the future against guys who are going to be able to take his best punch and throw punches back? Or are we going to see a series of highlights of Anthony Joshua knocking a whole lot of people out, not learning much in the gym, and then coming up short against a top quality heavyweight? I mean, look, the guy's had 10 fights, I believe, and that's fine. He fights Jason Gavern tonight, and many will say, oh, well, Gavern's a bum, he'll knock him out in a round, he'll knock him out in 30 seconds, he'll knock him out before he even get inside the ring. That's how some boxing bloggers have been, some boxing critics have been. Jason Gavern is an experienced fighter, and he's going to be in a lot better shape than he was against Deontay Wilder. But again, this fight was called on a week's notice, and bearing in mind as well, he's going to have jet lag for sure. There's no way you can travel in a week from where you are in America and be 6 or 7 hours behind time, and then come here to the UK and then be in some sort of physical, mental and spiritual shape to take on a guy who's a big puncher, young and up and coming. So these things are against Gavern before he even steps inside the ring. I'm not making excuses for Jason Gavern, no. I'm just showing you things that, let's say, a fighter who is properly prepared and ready to face Anthony Joshua and is prepared to come and fight. I'm not saying that Gavin isn't prepared to fight. What I am saying is there's a lot of things within sport you need to understand. So when you boxing writers and bloggers are saying, "Oh, he's just a bum," think about it. Let's see how you would travel, from one side of the world to the other side of the world, and be and fight within a week and have to deal with the traveling that you're doing, constant traveling you're doing, and then get ready to fight. It's a lot. So people like Jason Gavin have to be given all the credit in the world for what they're doing. A nice guy, family guy, and will give his all in boxing. Moving on from this point. So the building of the Anthony Joshua career, like I said, outside the ring, Sky have done a fantastic job. Matchroom have done a fantastic job building his career up and putting him on a platform. Even got a documentary about him already. I'm not surprised if there won't be a DVD out, the Anthony Joshua DVD. Now, this is not slating Anthony Joshua, but I have question marks. How are you building this man's career? And the other question is, his team. Now, there are difference between having trainers and actual mentors, and gone are the days. Very few trainers today eat, sleep, breathe boxing and are with you all the time. That's the old time trainers that wherever you walked, your trainer was with you. Wherever you decide to go and take a dump, the trainer's waiting outside the door for you. That's old school trainers. Today, trainers, they come, they take you in the pads, get you in some shape, and they're gone. They leave you. A young fighter like Anthony Joshua, for me personally, I would like to see him with an experienced trainer who has won the heavyweight championship of the world and knows what it takes to become the heavyweight champion or to train a heavyweight champion. Not somebody who's a trainer who trains lots of fighters that doesn't have an understanding of the concept of heavyweight boxing. This is a concern. Now, if things were to go wrong with Anthony Joshua's career, who's going to pick up the pieces? Are you then going to go to an experienced trainer to try and fix the problem? So what? Which trainer would you throw him to? Would you throw him to Ali Mustafa Muhammad? Would you throw him to James Ali Bashir? Would you throw him to Freddie Roach? Would you throw him to Robert Garcia? Who would you throw Anthony Joshua to? Would you take him with Adam Booth? I mean, who would you go to? If Anthony Joshua's career, you might say Robert McCracken's Robert McCracken's a trainer. He might have done well with Anthony Joshua as an amateur, but now we're talking about pro boxing now. And there's a lot of other things. We don't know what Anthony Joshua's like taking a shot on the chin. We don't know what he's like with stamina. A guy that big and who seems to be getting more and more muscular in every fight. Stamina issues. Is he going to have the stamina issues that Bruno had, that he had lactic acid? We won't know. He won't know until he's in a real fight against somebody throwing punches back. That's the last thing you want to happen to your heavyweight fighter. So these are things, boxing fans, that I am concerned about and will remain concerned about. Kevin Johnson is next up, I believe. Jason Gavin, full respect him, is not Kevin Johnson. He's not. And his career will say that. And I guess that Gavin himself would admit that. Gavin will come and give it his all. And, the sensation, should he land a few punches on the chin of Joshua, then, people will ask questions. If Joshua blows him out, what does it prove? It's a no-win sort of fight for Anthony Joshua. If he blows out Gavin, he's expected to. And if he gets knocked out by Gavin, well, people will say, well, I wasn't good enough anyway. I think it's premature for people to be talking about Anthony Joshua when the guy's only done 2 rounds, to be talking about him in the same breath as a Tyson Fury, as a Klitschko, as a Deontay Wilder. I really do think so. Not that I'm putting Deontay Wilder on a pedestal, but what I'm saying is Deontay Wilder has now gone 12 rounds against a former world heavyweight champion who's a big puncher. All right? So it's a difference. A big difference. We need to know whether Joshua can control somebody on the jab when they're coming at him and throwing punches. What is he? Can he fight off the back foot? Can he fight under pressure? Has he got a big heart? We don't know these things. And no, I'm not saying stick him in there tomorrow of a guy that's going to, find all those things out. But matchmaking. Are they going to find the right fight at the right time with Anthony Joshua? And is Eddie Hearn doing me any favours saying, yeah, well, we will fight this one. We'll fight Dillian Whyte. We'll fight Tyson Fury. We'll fight Derek Chisora. We'll fight David Price. Really? Really? you're looking at now something in David Price that people are saying, oh yeah, he'll knock out David Price. Well, first he has to get in ring with David Price, and I don't believe that Joshua's going to go out there, throw a right hand, and Price is going to fall on the floor. No way. Price will put up a fight. This is a orthodox versus another orthodox fighter. Has a jab, has a big right hand. Price can knock any heavyweight out in the world, and if that connects on Joshua's chin, who knows what can happen. We know what Joshua's like going forward, what is he like going back, what is he like in a big fight. These are the questions that people need answers to. So it's premature to be talking about Anthony Joshua, the next heavyweight champion of the world. Those are my thoughts. As for the fight tonight, whether he knocks out Gavin in 2 rounds, 1 round, or the fight goes 8 rounds, not interested to be honest. Doesn't tell me anything more about the fighter. Let me know what you guys think. And by the way, I'm going to go and get an ice cream. I'm out. Take care.